So many people come to me with the same heartbreaking complaint. My ex moved on so quickly. It's like they never cared about me at all. But the truth is, many of you aren't just watching them move on. You're actually helping them do it without even realizing it. Now, I tell you this not to shame you, but because most of you watching do still have a chance, as long as you stop making things so easy on your ex. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you what you're doing that's helping your ex move on, and I'll share 3 things that you need to do immediately to make them feel the full weight of losing you. So let's talk about your ex in the mindset that they're in after a breakup. As I'm sure you know, breakups can really destabilize things and lead to a lot of pain and discomfort. And one of the big sources of your ex's confusion, of course, is you. They don't know where you stand. They wonder if they made the right choice in ending things or if they should have given it another chance. They wish things could be different, and they hate the feeling that they're causing you pain. And here is where you screw up. You care about them, so you want to make them feel better. You want them to see that there are no hard feelings, even if there are. You want them to think that there's nothing standing between you, that all they have to do is pick up the phone and call you, and you'll take them back. But that is a huge mistake, because your ex's confusion, their pain, is what's going to draw them back to you. You want your ex to feel like the breakup is an open wound and you're the only way they can heal. But instead, you've shown them that moving on will be okay, that they can make it without you. So here's how you made it too easy for them. And it starts with number 1, which is you gave them closure. Now this one is the single biggest mistake, because it feels like the mature thing to do. You talk it out, you apologize, you tell them you understand. But look at the psychology here. Humans are hardwired to solve problems. Right now, your ex is staying up at night because the breakup is essentially an unsolved problem. They feel like a bad person for hurting you. But when you grant them closure, you're essentially signing their permission slip to leave. You've solved the problem for them. You've taken the weight off their shoulders and put it back on yours. So if you want them to obsess over you, you have to leave that door slightly ajar. You have to let them sit with the discomfort of being the person who broke something they don't know how to fix. And secondly, you made yourself less desirable. Now, your ex used to desire you more than anyone else in the world. They were obsessed with being around you, looking at you, touching you. So what happened? Well, after the breakup, your behavior changed how they see you. They know that the breakup was a major blow to your self-image. Basically, they hurt your feelings and rejected you. But now you keep hanging around, begging for another chance, trying to talk to them, being kind and friendly and romantic. And to be blunt, this kind of behavior usually comes across as pathetic. They threw you away and then you came crawling back. Now to them, this shows that you don't place much value in yourself, and so it makes them wonder if they should put much value in you. It's simple psychology. We're always changing our perception of others based on new information, especially after some kind of major upset like a breakup. They're looking for evidence of who you are, and you're giving them one major clue here. You're desperate to connect with somebody who dumped you. And so you probably lack self-respect. And that's not the only reason to stay away, because the third reason that you made it too easy for your ex is that you gave them too much access. Now, think about it. Why are diamonds so expensive? It's not just because they're pretty, it's because they're rare. If you could find a diamond the size of a brick on every street corner, they'd be as valuable as a paperweight. And people operate on that same subconscious level. When you're always there, responding to every text, answering every late night call, showing up where you know they'll be, you're essentially flooding the market with yourself. You're making yourself cheap. And the breakup is actually your biggest opportunity to become a rare resource again. By disappearing, you force them to experience the reality of their choice. They only notice what they were taking for granted once it's truly, hauntingly gone. But I do know that disappearing is easier said than done, especially if you're worried that if you go silent, they're going to forget you entirely. Now, if you're struggling to find that balance between being scarce and being completely gone, I can help you navigate those specific silences. My one-on-one coaching program is designed to look at your unique situation and build a plan that draws your ex back rather than scaring them off. You can see my current coaching availability at breakupbrad.com/coaching. So let's stop the guesswork and start giving them reasons to miss you. To begin working with me today, just go to breakupbrad.com/coaching. Now, once you've given them that space, you do have to be careful not to fall into the next trap, which is becoming their emotional safety net. Basically, you gave them a shoulder to cry on. Now, when your ex does come to you in pain, it's very hard to turn them away. So you let them pour their heart out to you. You tell them everything's going to be okay. And maybe you even hold them in your arms. Maybe for a moment, it feels like the breakup never happened. But of course, the problem is it did happen. So while it feels like you're bonding with your ex, you're actually making it easier for them to move on. Remember how I said that your ex's pain is actually going to draw them closer to you? So by helping them feel better, by helping them release that pain and anguish, you're lifting them up. And the thing is, your ex is going to cling to you most when they feel bad. When they feel good, they'll believe that they don't need you and that they can make it on their own. So stop giving them that confidence. Stop giving them a shoulder to cry on so that they can feel better and leave you behind. And frankly, the same goes for being their friend. Unfortunately, I see this happen all the time with my clients. They'll say, my ex and I became friends. I thought this was my way back into the relationship, but now they don't want anything more than my friendship. Now, if you're in that scenario right now, don't worry. Like I said, it does happen all the time, but it doesn't work because when you spend time as friends with your ex, you're not rebuilding your old connection. You're creating a new one. At first, the two of you may struggle to treat each other as friends, but the better of a friend you are, and the longer you treat them that way, the more they're going to associate you with friendship and not with a romantic relationship. So you're essentially training their brain to see you in a platonic way. Now, if you're stuck in your ex's friend zone right now and you want to know how to get out, go and watch the full video that I made on that topic. I break down what to do, what to say in order to get out of a friendship with your ex and push things back in the direction of intimacy and romance. And of course, I'll link to that video in the description below and here in the corner. Now, number 5 is you gave them answers. You want your ex to think about you, to wonder what you want, what you're doing, what you're feeling. Because that curiosity is going to turn to attraction before they even notice, and then they're going to start knocking at your door again. But so many people don't take advantage of this easy boost in their ex's attraction, and they go the opposite way. They mistake openness for intimacy, and so they make everything obvious to their ex. They answer, all their ex's questions and even volunteer information. They try to be an open book, and then they're surprised when their ex loses interest and moves on. But it comes back to what we said before. When you give your ex all the answers, they see you as a solved problem, an answered question. But when you withhold information, when you keep things to yourself, when you maintain your boundaries, your ex is going to go wild wondering what you're thinking and what you're doing without them. And that ties in nicely to number 6, which is you became a backup plan. Now, this is a very dangerous trap that happens when your ex is uncertain. They'll say that they need space, but they still want to keep you in their orbit. And when you make it clear that you're waiting for them, no matter what, you think that you're showing them loyalty. But what you're actually doing is removing the risk of loss. In any negotiation, the person who's most willing to walk away really holds all the power. And by signaling that you'll never walk away, you've given your ex a free pass to explore other people with zero consequences. They feel, completely comfortable dating others because they know with 100% certainty that you're sitting on the sidelines as a guaranteed plan B for them. You've become a fixed point in their life that requires no effort to maintain. So to get them back, you have to reintroduce the threat of your absence. They need to feel that cold reality that while they're out finding themselves, you're out finding a life without them. You have to make your heart an expired offer. And if they don't feel like they could eventually lose you for good, they're never going to feel the urgency to stop moving on and start coming back. And number 7 is you took away their agency. Now, this one is at the end of the list because it doesn't apply to all exes, but many people do feel this way deep down. A lot of exes still need the thrill of the chase to really come back. Now, this tends to apply more to men than to women, but definitely women do feel this way as well. Basically, they want to feel like the one in control of the relationship, like they're making the moves and pursuing the other person. And when you clear the path for them, it just makes things less interesting for them. They don't feel compelled to connect. Chasing is the only way they know how to begin a relationship. It's the only pattern they've followed. So you flipped the script on them and made it harder for them to move forward. Now, I typically see this with avoidance a lot. Avoidance, fear closeness. So if you show them that you're down, they move into avoidance mode, making sure they can keep their autonomy, and that means shutting down completely and distancing themselves. So if you want your ex back, you really need to make it more difficult for them to move on, not less difficult. And we've already talked about being less open, being less available, and more mysterious. Now, this isn't hard to achieve, but you really do have to make the effort. Now, of course, I'm going to advise that you start with no contact first. Obviously, that means, not talking with your ex for a serious period of time. And that silence is going to create space for their doubt, their loneliness, and their curiosity to build. And they'll see that life without you isn't what they thought, and they'll start to realize that if they don't come back, you're just going to move on. And then once you do start talking again, an important step is maintaining boundaries. So don't let your ex walk all over you. Don't let them come and go from your life whenever they feel like it. And don't let them play games with you. Show them that you have self-respect and that you're not going to stick around and be hurt again. Refuse to be their friend. Don't do them any big favors. And don't let them treat you like the breakup never happened. Now, I realize that can feel a bit hostile to the person that you're trying to win back, but they need this wake-up call if you're ever going to have a chance of something more serious with them. They need to see that they can't do this halfway. If they want you, they're going to have to say it, and they're going to have to treat you with respect, or they won't be around much longer. Now, this can sometimes feel like you're slamming the door in your ex's face, but really, you're creating a way forward so that both of you can have your needs met and actually feel happy together. But of course, that's really only the first step. Now you need to think about rebuilding the attraction that's been lost. And so now is also the perfect time to watch another recent video of mine, because you may be destroying your ex's attraction for you without even realizing it. I'll put a link to that video in the description below and right here in the corner. For now, thank you so much for watching. If any of what I've said has resonated with you, please subscribe and like the video. Thank you again. See you soon.